One of my main dilemma when I first started in this hobby was, how do I get my miniatures ready for painting? When should I subassemble? When should I fully build my model? What should I do with these plastic toys?
Can someone please tell me?
So in this video, I'm gonna try and answer those questions my past self struggled with, and hopefully be useful to you as well, underlying the pros and cons between the two approaches and giving you a solution that hopefully is a good middle ground between the two. You're welcome. Please keep watching the video, will ya? Starting off with subassembly, this is a process that can really be tedious. The way I do it is I cut every part of the model from the sprue, I clean it thoroughly from mold lines, and then I proceed to use my hand drill to drill holes in which I will insert paper clips that I will then fix to corks in order to have full access to the miniature. But yeah, I don't really dig that. So most of the times I don't even drill every part of the model. I usually just drill the main body and use blue tack and some sticks for the other parts because I'm lazy like that. The pros of this process is that you have access to every single part of the model and you can be very precise throughout the whole model without assuming an uncomfortable position you have if the model were built fully. The main con that I would really underline here, especially for beginners, is that by subassembling you run the risk of losing the global view of the model, which is bad. So when should you subassemble? Well, mostly for three main reasons. Reason number one, if you want to paint to a high standard like I'm doing with Golden Demon, so you want to be very precise with each and every single part of the model. Consistent throughout the model as well. Two, if there is a part of the model that blocks another and you can actually see it from the tabletop. And three, if it drives you nuts knowing that there is a part of the model that it's not painted, even if you are just the only one that knows. Most of the times I wouldn't suggest beginners to subassemble unless it's strictly necessary or if you have OCD, which is a thing. No judgment here. To me, building a full model already gives you a sense of accomplishments that push you towards painting, which I think for a beginner is very important. And also, as I said before, it allows you to have a global vision of your model, which is
very important.
Okay, but where is the third option you talked about, Alice? Well, this is how I solved this dilemma back in the days. Instead of building a whole model, I would just build the body, the main body, so legs and torso. And then I would take the sprue and just prime it black. Weird. Yeah, maybe it is a little bit weird, but I swear it cuts off all the prep work in half and most importantly gives you the freedom of choosing your weapons later on, so you're not pressured to make a decision right away. And plus, another upside of this approach is that you have a lot of already primed bits to use, which is cool, I think. This could be also very useful if you want to magnetize your models or when you are assembling vehicles, because this way you have access to the internal parts as well. The only thing you need to be real careful about is to scrape off the primer from the junction point where the two parts meet, because if you're using plastic glue, the primer will act as a barrier for the two parts of plastic to fuse together.